Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another video of the IXO Collections Build the Willys MB Jeep, the famous World War II Jeep. And of course, the Jeep made history and truly an iconic vehicle of our times. So, like I said, welcome back to, this would be the 18th video for this collection, and I'll be doing 5 more stages here. Stages 66 through 70. Now in this video I'll be building the radio. Pretty much most of the parts here comprise of the radio. There's a couple other small detail parts here and there for the Jeep itself. But this should be fun. I'm looking forward to this. If you haven't done so already, head over to IXO Collections and purchase this kit today. It's only available as a kit, and it's a wonderful kit. I did do a review of how the kit comes with the very first video here, and I'll put the playlist in the description below, but the playlist lists all 17 other videos that I produced so far for this build. This will be the 18th. Let's look at the parts that came with this. Stage 66, beginning of the radio. Stage 67, some of the small details in the face of the radio. Stage 68, the mount for the radio. Stage 69, looks like the antenna and the handset for the radio. Plus we receive another screwdriver here. And then we get the first part of the top. And these are the bars for the roof or the top of the Jeep. Let's get started. And just to highlight this page right here, it's in the very back of the instruction booklet, and it shows you all the parts that are associated with each pack. And you might have heard me reference packs for the parts, and that's the case here. So all the parts I'll be reviewing look like they're in pack 7. Stage 66, I begin with the radio. This is the radio casing and locks, or we call the hasps. The locking hasps for the radio. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 66. Let's get a closer look. Here's the case for the radio. It is made of plastic. Of course, the case offered some protection to the radio gear that would be slid into the front of it. And of course, we have the locking lockdown hasps for that. I'll go ahead and install them, and I'll be right back. And I have the locks installed. There's 3 on each side. You can see how that is configured there. They snapped in place. No glue was required. There you go. That's all I do with stage 66. Let's head over and do stage 67. Here's parts for stage 67. Received the parts here for the radio front panel. The handset jack, there's 1 part there for that. 3 control switches and the cable connector assembly. So we'll go ahead and put the switches and the handset jack on there along with the cable and connector assembly. We'll screw that front cover on, and that'll be it. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. Here's parts for 67. Let's get a closer look. CP screws. Here's that cable and connector, the 3 switches, the handset jack, and the front of the radio. Very nice graphics on that. Of course, this is made of plastic. And there you go. All the parts are installed. To 3 switches, handset jack right over here on the left side, and then our cable and connector. And the face of the radio was installed on the cover here with 2 CP screws. And that's all I do with stage 67. Let's head over and do stage 68. Stage 68 will continue with the radio. We received the handles and the radio base and antenna connector. So that looks like there and there. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. Parts for 68. Let's get a closer look. And here they are. Here's the base, made of plastic. The two handles for the radio, the antenna base, and FP screws. And the two handles are installed on the radio. I did use a little bit of glue for those, and I used my Mr. Cement S. You can use Tamiya extra thin, Tamiya ABS cement, or even super glue. I don't like the super glue because through time super glue will crack and you'll lose your parts. And then we have the antenna base on this side. That's this right here, glued in. Now we'll go ahead and mount this to the chassis, the base. Before we mount the radio base to the chassis, we need to line up our base to the radio, and we're going to screw this down on the radio. Two FP screws will go into that right there. And you can see how they line up with the tabs inside. So it only goes on one way. And just to kind of show you what that looks like as compared to the handles, the holes, that's how it's supposed to look. Okay, so I'll put the FP screws into this. Okay, both screws are installed right here, two FP screws. Now we're going to go ahead and mount this to the Jeep, and this is going to face inboard, and this is going to be outboard. Okay, so we'll take the radio here, and we're going to mount this inboard, just like that. And it goes down on what we call some shock mounts, which is really cool, very detailed there. 4 FP screws go into that. And the 4 FP screws are installed, and you can see them on the front and on the back, and you can see what the radio looks like after it's mounted inside. So that's all I do with stage 68. Let's head over and do stage 69. And stage 69, this will be the last stage we do for the radio in this video. So we have the handset wire, the telescopic antenna, the handset, the cap, earpiece, and spring, along with the new screwdriver. There's those parts for the handset and the wire. The spring goes on the wire itself, then that's going to get mounted to the radio. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 69. Let's get a closer look. Here's a close-up of those parts. Everything has to do with that handset, plus a couple parts for the radio itself. And the spring itself is steel, and you can see our new screwdriver is magnetized also, so that makes that very nice. A very tiny screwdriver, by the way. LP screws. Okay, here's that handset, and we're going to mount the speaker part of it onto this. There is an alignment pin below. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look at the handset, you can see the alignment pin right there. So that's just simply going to go down on top, and it's going to hold that together. Now our LP screw will go into that. It's a very tiny screw. And that's tight there. Then we'll take the cover to our handset and squeeze that down on top. There we go. That's how that looks there. Looks good. Take our cord to the handset and we'll put that on there. That looks good there. And take our steel spring and route that through the cord. all the way until it looks like that. That looks good. Now we'll take this handle, this large brace handle on top. It's kind of like an armrest or something. And that's going to just go down in these two holes on top here. Just like that. Next we'll take our radio handset. We're going to plug that into the front of the radio here. Okay, so the handset is connected to the connector on the front of the radio. And I just put it underneath this bar for now to keep it stored. But that's what it looks like there. Let's look to see what it looks like from the front. And that's what it looks like. So that's all I do with stage 69. Let's head over and do stage 70. And for the last stage for this video, stage 70, we're going to go ahead and assemble the two top bows, bow A and bow B. And they'll just get screwed together in a couple of places on each end. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. And here's the parts, basically the bows and the screws. Let's get a closer look. screws, and this is bow B with the tabs on top, and bow A has the slots. Okay. And the screws were put in, the screws. They are kind of a countersunk screw. I used a little bit of 3-in-1 oil to put them in on both sides. Okay, so you can see it still rotates. Okay, that's all I do with stage 70. I'll be right back. And that completes this video, video number 18, where I assembled stages 65 through 70. Pretty much got the radio done. We have a few extra parts that will go on it, attached to it, like the antenna and such, but that's what that looks like. I'm very pleased with this, very easy to do. So stay tuned as I return with video number 19 for stages 71 through 75, I believe. So there you go. If you think you'd like to get this for yourself, head over to IXO Collections. I put a link in the description below and purchase this whole kit. That's how they sell this, is as a whole kit and not as a subscription. So there you go. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and smash that like button. Take care, everybody.